Gina claims that her husband Clint is swagless.
I do agree with the sister. Clint got a lot of swag.
I think so too.
So I'm not sure what she's looking at. He may come across as goofy sometimes, but he certainly is confident. He's self assured. He's a businessman. He can be funny when he
Yes,
wants
he's
to.
got a sense of
He
humor.
has a lot of personable character traits. And another thing, he's well traveled. So I'm not sure what Gina's definition of swag is.
But yet and still, she says she's hopeful that the marriage has a possibility of being successful.
Well, if she claims he doesn't have swag and swag gets the juices going, this too is a wrap. Because I don't know what she thinks Clint is all about. Is it Clint she's looking at, or is she looking at a ghost from her past? Which one is it?
That she's trying to project onto Clint.
And then she has walls up too. The woman can't even have a conversation about sex.
Yeah, not with Clint, not with Dr. P, and nor her damn self. So, hmm, who else is left to have a conversation with?
I have no idea. She
Welcome to
probably have some.
well, welcome to Cliff Alerts. Today we're going to be talking about Lifetime Network's reality-based TV series Married at First Sight, season number 16, episode number 14. What do you say that time was again? Oh, okay, all right. Shocking, huh?
No, no. Well, God forbid it's shocking. Are you crazy? You don't want a shock therapy? What do you do?
Oh man,
Anywho, Gina and Clint. That's how
yeah,
they start off.
yeah.
We had a visit from
Dr.
Dr.
Pia.
Theo, who is all about the intimacies.
Yeah, and Flint starts off by saying, because that's her focus, that their relationship is great as far as he's concerned, and that the communication is great, but there's some physical barriers in terms of the intimacy that remained.
Well, I don't know how great that is if the whole intention is to be married and to be intimate with your spouse. I'm not sure if they even got to a point of being really intimate with each other.
Yeah, and one thing that kind of struck me as, at the very least, odd was that Gina says that she didn't know what the cause of that was.
Well, Gina
So,
could tell herself stories all day long. There are bookstores with that stuff in it. But Gina is part of the reason why this is not going anywhere.
yeah, and then Clint uh, kind of goes down this path in terms of discussing and or revealing this no whole notion of sexual desires. They have them, but they have them independent of each other.
Well, Clint was the one who said he has it independently. So Clint is finding some way to get rid of some of that sperm retention. So I'm not sure what Gina is doing, but she must be doing something. Oh,
I was going somewhere, but I ain't gonna
no,
do it.
that's the
How you,
negative.
how you say it? How Melvin said
That's
to
a non-starter.
how Melvin said to Lamont and Fred, "Don't do it, don't do it." So I'm not
Good for you.
okay.
Proud of you.
Yeah, well, Gina says that she has no idea, you know, if the marriage will last. And I guess she seemingly uses that as a justification for the barriers that she places up around herself as it relates to, just this whole notion of intimacy with her husband, Clint.
I'm seeing a pattern, and you guys can tell me if I'm wrong. Gina was fine with Clint, but the moment Clint said that Gina didn't fill his eye and he didn't say a fat ass, but he said she was not athletic, that turned everything around.
She took
And
offense. So
she
she
took
took all
offense
to
to
that
that,
remark.
and I don't think she has made her way back. I believe that Gina has taken offense to that, and something must have occurred for Gina to say she doesn't trust men And then she said she's uncomfortable talking about sex. Where are we going to go from here?
Yeah, what?
Why is a woman who do not trust men and is uncomfortable talking about sex, why is she unmarried at first sight?
And that's you kind of addressed what it is I was going to bring up in terms of a point. She was the one that said that she doesn't trust men based
Right,
on her past experience.
right.
So if she hasn't gotten or worked her way through that issue, that baggage, why is she expecting that something constructive is going to happen here when she seems unwilling to do that?
No clue. So she starts talking about having some sort of swing or what have you, but you know that's ish. She's talking about, and she and Clint continue to mummigaia so that they're trying to get better.
Yeah, because they haven't really talked intimacy.
No, they have not.
Yeah.
So
So
the
what?
doctor leaves them a goodie bag with, I believe it was some sort of feather. They take turns using the feather on each other. Then it
Mhm.
was a brush of some sort, and they use that and something else. She said she's into cologne,
Yeah, she's into
and
scents, and so is Clint.
Clint is into that as
That's
well.
correct.
But if Clint hasn't been wearing cologne
Hmm.
and she's still not feeling anything, okay, well, it's not the cologne that's Clint is wearing.
Yeah, and not only that too, but she revisited that comment that she made to Clint and Dr. P in terms of him not having the swag. And she actually went so far as to suggest, if I recall correctly, that
Put on
maybe a
some
good
R&B music and
well, that's one of the things that she said that even though she likes music, he might do, but that wasn't it. She said, if I'm not mistaken, that he needs a good haircut.
feather, a brush, and some sort of
Yeah, comb, yeah,
comb
brush.
or
It
something
was a
like that.
brush. It was a
It was more about a massage kind of situation rather than anything sensual or sexual or what have you. I don't understand why these two people, if they want to get us in a sensual place, do it for real. Let's see some candles. Let's put out some oil. Touch the man. Get something going. And she had the opportunity to do it,
but she
and
was
she refused
skeptical.
to.
She was
So
skeptical.
sh- this girl did not belong on the show because she is unwilling to get to where she should be.
And I'll give Clint, I guess, some credit for trying to cover for her. He's trying to be philosophical in his responses to this thing, but I think it is obvious to many viewers, including us, that this is not authentic.
No, it's not.
It just isn't.
That's why he got to do his own thing
Right,
independently.
right. So then I think the ladies meet and they they key it up about what's going on with their marriages. And on the guy's side, Clint had a chance to chop it up with the fellas and basically let the guys know that yeah, his marriage in terms of well, he let the fellas know that his marriage with Gina is getting better in terms of communication. They're making progress, but it's not really the kind of progress that's going to lead to anything intimate or intimacy between husband and wife, i.e., himself and Gene. Uh, when asked what base he thought he was on by Eris, I believe it was, in terms of the sports analogy, he said he's not even in the damn stadium, and that might be about right. Woo, not parking lot, but in the stadium. That ain't nowhere close to the diamond, is it?
Not even.
Mm.
So again, another fugazi.
scenario going on here.
scenario going on.
Yeah,
The charade of it all.
and I don't think Gina is really interested in getting
She's
to.
not, and she's not being authentic. She's not interested.
She's going along to get along, um,
And who wants to
and
see that?
yeah, in terms of the process.
If the premise of the show is married at first sight, and you're hopeful that coaches are gonna match you with someone of like mind that you can go down the road together, doesn't mean that stuff is gonna be on and popping immediately, but at least you're open to a process. Gina is not open to the process, and she's not the only one.
Right, and it just seems like to me that Gina's participation in these exercises that are designed to draw her closer to her husband Clint have been half-hearted in
She
the way of
has
effort
she's
on her part.
poo-pooed most of them, but what she hasn't poo-pooed is her business. So perhaps she's on the show to promote her
Business,
business because she gets more. She gets really juiced up when she's talking about a business. If you notice, than anything
yeah,
else.
sure. She perks up a lot when
Yes,
she
she
talks about
does.
that.
So perhaps that's the thing, to use this as a format to advertise her business.
Right, because her business of making a successful marriage with Clint doesn't seem like
She
that's
has
on the
no
front burner.
she has no interest in that
Right,
whatsoever.
right.
So that's all we're gonna say about that. We thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. This whole process is a little exhausting and tedious, and because you clearly know what's gonna happen from this point. So so much so that the producers are even setting up a scenario with Gina and McKinley. So it's a wrap, really.
You're right over there. Worn out for all this foolishness, huh? This fake foolishness, huh?
That's the thing in it. Foolishness can wait.